back in Week 9. The Colts dominated their first matchup against the Texans. Can Houston avoid the sweep? The answer comes your way next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene from a few moments ago, this crowd enthusiastically cheering on their Texans as they emerge from the locker room. And we're just about ready for football as the Texans get set to match up with the Indianapolis Colts. Going alongside Charles Davis. And CD, you look at the Colts in this matchup, you figure they've got to be looking forward to this one. They've got a clear advantage on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, and they totally understand it, not just by running the numbers, but those numbers do play into it because you've got one of the better passing offenses in the league, a top 10 unit, going up against one of the poor defenses in the league. So I think we're going to see these guys take some shots downfield. But right from the start, I expect them to attack and get right after them.
And we are underway from NRG Stadium in Houston. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. Out comes Deshaun Watson, ready to captain the ship here for this Houston offense.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him the win. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. They run for the first time with Benny Snell. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. On 1st down, it's Snell again. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Well, this defense for the Colts, they were terrific in the win over Tennessee a week ago.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he is going to have a Texans 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Off of play action, it's Watson. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Quiddy Pay. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously, led to a very quick sack.
And it appears that this was just a letdown from the offensive line, but they do have a tough job because if you're a big tackle out there on the perimeter, sometimes you don't have the agility to keep up with the defensive end who's looking to wreak havoc in the backfield, and he got there and put his man on the ground.
To try again after the sack. Watson, he's going to wind up and air it out. And that is incomplete.
Not the desired outcome, but probably won't be the last time we see him take a shot downfield.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. Here's Tommy Townsend on to punt. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. On the return, it's Rodgers. The danger of a punt that good, a 16-yard return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And leading them, Charles, their quarterback, their field general.
And he's certainly putting together an MVP-type season, leading the league in both passing yards and touchdown passes. There have not been too many defenses that have been able to stop him or even slow him down. So he's got his sights set on another big game right here.
Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
So many times we see teams go on the road and want to lean on their running game, but this crew just announced they're going to try and air it out and make hay downfield.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. First carry now for the former Badger, Jonathan Taylor. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Here's Taylor. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. He'll look to throw. This will be taken in by Michael Pittman. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up 1st downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Dancing to his left. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Now a handoff. Taylor with it. And he stopped immediately there. Officially nothing on that one. No gain. So they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down. Now back to throw. Out to the right and complete to Pittman. And he's going to be stopped here at the 43, and that is not near enough to pick up the 1st. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
And he'll go down for a loss inside his own 5 at the 4. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Now a give here to Snell, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 15 coming up after that loss of 2.
I think it might be time to move to a different section of the playbook there, because back-to-back runs, both for loss. Now they have 3rd and long coming up.
Here's Snell on 3rd down, and he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. The punt team on now is from their end zone. They get it away. And here's Rodgers on the return. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. And they, on paper, Charles, no doubt they have the edge in this one. They are sitting with the AFC elite, and on the other side, they're down toward the bottom of the AFC. But you know what they say, especially at this point in the season, watch out for a trap game.
And in doing so, I would take my game plan and condense it. I would rely on my fundamentals, the fact that my players are probably just better, and not try and do too much, do just enough to win the game. And on the other side of the field, I'm doing everything. Every trick play I can think of, every different formation, you name it, I'm throwing it at them in order to try and get the upset win.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. The toss here completed to Pittman. 7 yards, the pickup there. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle.
And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. Paris Campbell with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Colts are going to take a first quarter lead.
If you didn't know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now you can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
Aldrich Rosas on for the extra point. And this is good to make it 7-0 Indy. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And the result for the Colts is a touchdown. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. And the football going back over now to the Houston Texans. The partner, just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season, the playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but there's that special one there. I say they go get him. They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, force the incompletion. That'll allow him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Grover Stewart coming right up the gut. Gets in there for a loss of 9.
That's right. That's right. That's what I'm talking about, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Boom, boom. Get ready.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter from Houston. It's the Texans in possession of the football, as they've got it with a 3rd down and long coming up. Back to throw, Watson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Colts getting another possession here on offense. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He'll take a shot downfield for Pittman. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. And he will not get there as they stop him short right around the 34-yard line. He'll get a couple of yards on the keeper, but it's going to lead to a 4th down. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Texans are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. And now out comes Houston. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. Starting the drive with Snell. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
Here's Tommy Townsend now. He's been terrific so far. Taken in at the 22. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He's played a pretty clean 1st half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of it. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the 2nd quarter. 61 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this 1st half. And that one heck of a run right there. Once he got loose, you could tell that he was going to run a long way. That was pretty impressive.
And first and foremost, this is all about vision. He can see the play developing right in front of him. And once he's past the line of scrimmage and got a full head of steam behind him, he's just going to keep right on going.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Wide open receiver complete. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. A big play that time through the air. 33 yards. They lulled them to sleep there, so to speak. That was all set up by the running game, wasn't it?
Another example of what all offensive coordinators tell us. When the running game's operating, it really opens up the playbook. And that's when they hit them with the play action. And you can see the defenders rushing towards the line of scrimmage.
And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Jonathan Taylor, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. Rosas good with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it was capped off by a Jonathan Taylor touchdown. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. Brandon Cooks and the rest of the offensive crew trotting back into place out there. Looking down at the stats here, realizing he has no catches. They've targeted him twice, but no catches. So how do they get him more involved, Charles?
You make sure he touches it on routes that he likes to run. maybe even run a reverse or some type of a jet sweep so he gets his hands on the ball and get him active and involved in the game. You just try and find ways to get him going, and it doesn't have to be something that's big downfield.
Maybe kind of like in basketball, just a shooter seeing the ball go through, you get him a rep, get him more comfortable.
I agree with that totally. Maybe set that solid screen and give him an easy look.
Well, to this point, no catches. And once again, this Colts defense stops him behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a third down.
Yeah. 58, right over there. Yeah.
From the gun, here's Watson. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
When you struggle on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Second down, again they defer to Snell. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is. At the 6-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. Off the option, here's Taylor. Evades him at the 10. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez, standing just outside his own goal line. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And we move to spotlighting Brandon Cooks. Hasn't had his best day to this point here in the 2nd quarter, and they're losing. You got to think, though, that also means that maybe the defense doing a good job on him. There's 2 sides to that coin.
I would agree, so you have to give them credit, but that means you've got to find a way to beat that defense and make sure one of your top playmakers touches the football and has an impact on the game. Change formations, change where he lines up, put him in motion, anything possible to shake him free.
Maybe that greater impact comes here on this drive.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. The Texans send the punter out. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. This is brought in at the 21. "21 yards. Well done on the return. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And with great starting field position and a couple of timeouts at their disposal, they'll certainly have the green light here. This to Hines on the drop-off. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it's a second down.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
They'll set up a throw. Out of his hands quickly to Pittman. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. They'll look to throw here on first down. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he's going to have a first down here as they're also into field goal range at the 28. Back to throw again. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. Rosas' kick is good. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So 3 points there, and they continue to build this first half lead.
Yeah, every little bit helps. And the more that you can put together drives and start controlling the tempo, controlling possession, finishing with points, the better off you're going to be.
Kicks it on the ground with a squib. Now a hit and a loose football. And the Colts pick it up, but they will not be able to capitalize as time is run out here on the first half of play. So we come to halftime here with the visiting Colts taking the lead to the locker room. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll start up at TIAA Stadium in Jacksonville. And it's the Jags who have the lead as that one's gone to halftime. Laviska Shenault, a touchdown catch in that first half. From there, we head up to Wisconsin to check out the Packers at home in Lambeau. And they trail the visiting Chicago Bears. A couple of touchdown strikes there from Justin Fields. Lastly, let's get to Pittsburgh. Check on the Steelers at home at Heinz Field. And at this point, they trail the visiting Baltimore Ravens. Tylan Wallace, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. On now to a look at the next-gen stats for the Colts in that first half. And their offense has been in top form so far, especially their passing game, as it's helped push them out to this big halftime lead. Meanwhile, for the Texans, we check on their numbers on the ground in the first half, as they know they'll need to be better to overcome this halftime deficit. These two clubs running through their final halftime adjustments. It's just about time to get back at it. And for the call of the second half, we go back out to Houston, H-Town, and Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Second half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football. Rodgers on the return. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
Let's go. Let's go. Don't give them nothing. Don't give them nothing.
Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Looking for Campbell downfield. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in. Nyheim Hines, his first carry. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
Come on, guys, let's go.
Those are the type of runs that we did not see from him in the first half, but a good start to the third quarter.
And I know what everyone's thinking that's watching this. They did a great job adjusting at the half. Oftentimes you don't make adjustments. You just dial into your game plan a little bit better. And maybe
this is caught at the 20. Touchdown, Colts. Paris Campbell with his 14th touchdown of the year, second of the game. And the Colts come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Rosas to add the extra point. And the lead is now 24. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And it culminates in an Indianapolis touchdown. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Watson's throw taken in there by Cooks. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. All told, it's a loss of 8 on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Boy, how good has this defense been seemingly all game long?
I really think right from the first snap, I think you're really onto something there. In this passing game, it just can't get off the ground. And that play, it wound up losing yardage.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Watson. He's going to float this one deep right side. And it's intercepted. Picked off by Kenny Moore. And the Colts are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. Things just kind of continuing to unravel for them here in the second half. They take the shot downfield, but this defense, once again, up to the task.
Well, this is where you think about the old phrase, desperate times call for desperate measures, because they've got nothing on the scoreboard, and they're just trying to get something, anything to go their way. But in this case, they turn the ball over.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
It takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. Tackle that time by Ronnie Harrison.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 86 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. He'll drop to throw. He gets this into the hands of Taylor. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
On 2nd down, it's Taylor running right through him, and he'll get it down on the play to the 37.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On play action, they'll throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A great effort there. His 9th touchdown of the season, and the Colts have got it on cruise control.
For a big tight end, he can sure move like a slot receiver when he gets a head of steam going. And as a defensive back, you've got a big decision to make when he's moving like that.
Roses now to add the PAT. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And the result for the Colts is a touchdown. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Houston's offense taking over again. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
They'll run with Smith. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Now it's Smith, and he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the 1st half, and that trend is continuing here.
Now Watson. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Harris. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game, because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long, but a nice throw there for a good gain and a 1st down.
Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Now it's Watson. And this one complete to Smith. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. To throw is Watson. It's Williams on the catch. And he is going to have a Texans 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. They'll run it now with Smith. Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. On the carry, here's Smith. And once again, this Colts defense stops him behind the line of scrimmage. That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a 3rd down and 12. Out of the gun, Watson. It's caught, Smith. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35.
Well, this has certainly been a nice drive with the way they've spread the football around. Here, they even get the fullback involved in the passing game. That's got to cause a lot of consternation on the defensive side. You've got to cover him, too. That makes things really difficult.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. From the 28, it's 2nd and 5. This is Smith. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. One quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Smith. Julian Blackman bringing him down. On 2nd and 9, Watson, and that's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kenny Moore. Down the numbers. There he goes. 30. 10, and he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
PAT up and good by Rosas. And the lead will swell by 1 more. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. Houston set to take over. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat.
Let's go, defense.
Fresh off the pick 6, it's Watson. It's caught on the right side, it's Smith. That catch good for only a couple.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot, because we saw the catch there, right? He made it, but he's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
On the return, it's Rodgers. A big boot that time. 57 yards, the official distance. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Indy set to go on offense once more. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food, because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides sides of the football.
Might have to put it number 1 for what we've seen this season.
Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here. Slow to get up. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. Back to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. Back to throw here. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Texans take over an excellent field position. On first down, it's Watson. He gets it complete to Harris. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it.
Vision and speed, 2 of the attributes that you might say are important for a free safety, and we saw both in evidence there.
On 1st and 10, Watson. And he's got it. Touchdown. Oh, but there is a marker on the field. So now the question, who is this on? And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty. No question there.
You don't think they spent a couple of seconds mulling over what the penalty
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
Extra point splits the uprights as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play.
Bringing it out of his end zone, Isaiah Rodgers. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. A quick throw, but incomplete.
They are certainly not letting up on the pressure in this one, and oftentimes you hear this expression, all gas, no break from defenses. But in this case, it's the offense still throwing the football up big in the 4th quarter.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
And this is going to be a Colts first down as he's able to get this up past the 40.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's taken down at the 50 after a short gain of 2.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Brandon, this can be so demoralizing for a defense. They've had 2 opportunities to get off the field. They haven't gotten it done. So now your coordinator, he's going to call every blitz that he has, any type of exotic, something that they haven't seen before. And he's also telling the defensive lineman, don't worry about holding people up. Just get in gaps and try and make a big play.
And not only not getting off the field on 2 opportunities, clock continuing to run. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away.
He'll get this one to Pittman.
And a good quarterback facing zone coverage, if he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And they take a knee. So this one winds up an Indianapolis victory, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better. And that got it done in this one.
So for Indianapolis,
it's one more win to finish the season as they wrap up with a sterling 15-2 record.
And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for the Texans,
this loss will be the capper to a dismal 4-13 campaign.
And this front office will have plenty of work to do in the draft and through free agency to turn this ship around.